Welcome back for one last dip into scary, shark-infested waters. And our next chapter is the scariest one of all. Because right now, the most fearsome fish of them all is swimming for his life, and his hunter shows no mercy. And we don't usually think of sharks as victims, but because of people, some sharks are in serious trouble. And without them doing their part, the ocean's ecosystem could be thrown out of balance. How? Well, if the shark population keeps shrinking, the sea lions around the Australian coast won't have a predator to control their numbers. And as cool as sea lions are, having too many would be too much of a good thing. See, the sea lions eat crustaceans and small fish. Now, if there were a sea lion population explosion, the crustaceans would get gobbled up faster than they could reproduce. It's a chain reaction, and it could have fatal consequences for lots of the creatures who live in this area. Every species has a role to play in maintaining the healthy balance of this sea world. But how's this for messed up? It's because the great white shark loves a tasty sea lion snack that they're in danger in the first place. Wait a sec, did I hear me right? Yeah, it's like this. In Australia, sea lions and people both love swimming in the ocean. So some beaches put up specially designed nets to keep the sharks on a sea lion hunt away from the swimmers. But some people go outside the nets. Who would do that? Surfers, that's who. And a paddling surfer looks a lot like a sea lion. So shark attacks on humans are usually a case of that most tragic of all reasons: mistaken identity. But that doesn't make getting bitten any easier. Just ask Rodney Fox. When he was 23, he went out spearfishing. But Rodney was the one who ended up getting caught by a great white shark. And even though it took 462 stitches to sew him up, today, Rodney is president of the Great White Sharks fan club.
This is the size of the shark that got me in 1963. It's about a 10-footer and only quite a juvenile shark. Whereas over here on the wall, you've got a much, much larger shark, a 17-footer, which, if that one had grabbed hold of me, it would have easily torn me in half.
Fighting tooth and nail with jaws like these, made Rodney want to know more about just what makes them bite. And to do that, he's taking the plunge. Rodney has this cage for the ultimate protection, but the local sharks are practically his pets. Rodney has built a business that brings tourists and photographers eye to eye with the great white. So now, Rodney makes his living from the animal that almost caused his death. Now that he's gotten close to the great white, he's learned to appreciate them in a whole new way.
The interesting thing about the great white shark is that each one has its own personality. There are some that just race right in and grab hold of the bait and eat it immediately. There are some that are shy. I had a 17-foot great white shark come in and gently take a tuna out of my hand with such gentle movements that you couldn't believe this from the monster that it was.
Gentle? If you say so, Rodney. But I still don't think I'll be teasing them like this anytime soon. Oh, come on, man. Cut the guy some slack. Part of Rodney's job is knowing the right place to look for his favorite fish. He also helps the sharks find him with his famous tuna surprise.
We feed these tuna here to the sharks in bite-sized pieces, and we don't want to fill them up too fast if they come around the boat. Now we'll just put this balloon and hang it out of the back over the stern of the boat. And now for some delicious stew. This little mixture here is minced up tuna with some extra tuna oil added to add an odor corridor. As the tide goes along, it'll take pieces of the meat away as we slowly do it, and the oil, and make a track for the sharks. When they hit it, they'll know, because they know which way the tide is running. They'll come all the way back to the boat.
Watch and learn, guys. Any minute now, this water's gonna be wall to wall with great whites. Man, unless there are some invisible sharks here, I'd say they're not taking the bait. Rodney dives down to get a better look. Looks like a whole lot of empty water to me. No sharks. No sharks at all. And Rodney is starting to get a little worried.
This is the 8th day that we've been out in all my favorite spots. I don't think that at this time there are very many sharks around here. They must be off to a better restaurant somewhere else. Either that, or they're being killed faster than we like to think about.
Rodney doesn't like to think about it, but the truth is, seeing a great white shark in the flesh is getting less and less common. And this is in a part of the world that used to be famous for being sharkier than the capital of Sharkville on Shark Day. It's pretty sad. But we here at the Ultimate Guide to the Awesome always see the silver lining. So while some sharks seem to be disappearing, we're just getting to know newly found species like the Greenland shark. Our buddy Nick Kalianis' first ever footage has given researchers plenty to chew on, with their less than razor sharp teeth. Like why the gills on this female greenie are so far down on her body. Or these weird markings on her back. Are they bite marks? And why are these parasites hanging from her eye? Maybe they're like bait, attracting unsuspecting fish to come in where they get nabbed themselves by the greenie's razor-sharp teeth. So many questions. That seems to be the way it's always been with the sharks. They're some of the most mysterious animals the world has ever seen. And over the last 400 million years, the world has seen plenty of them. But the more we learn, the more we realize everything we know about sharks is still just the tip of the iceberg. Wow, you gotta hand it to those sharks. Well, don't hand it to them. I mean, ouch! Not unless you got a hand to spare. But any animal that's been around as long as they have and has evolved into so many excellent species, how can you not love them? I'll see you next time for another Ultimate Guide to the Awesome. Hey, dude, you know that kind of stung?